What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on D's analysis. Here we're going to be looking at MSTR and a couple charts today. As we all know, we broke out of our downward sloping trend line. We got our bounce off of our horizontal level of support. We're now at this golden zone that we've been speaking about, but price is starting to rip up a little bit, and it looks like we're potentially going to gap by the time the open starts. It's currently 7 a.m. right now, so let's see how high we go. Let's see if it pulls back. Also, once we open up, let's see if we actually pull back to close the gap or we leave the gap open to fill in a later date. Well, this is starting to play out very well. Definitely starting to look like this move a lot, but still early on. When we take a look at the 4-hour SMAs, we have the 50 crossing the 200, extremely bullish, and the 20 is right underneath price hugging it. So that's going to support price to the upside. And on the 1 hour, you can see you have the 20 and the 50 both supporting price right now. The 20 tried falling underneath, but it looks like it's starting to push back up, and hopefully they both continue to hug price and push price higher. On the weekly Bollinger Bands, we are running into the top band, so that's part of the reason why we got resistance along with this golden zone. So it looks like we are trying to break out of it. We're currently above it because we're at 411.45, so we're outside of the band. So remember, we don't spend too much time outside of the band, so let's see what happens. Let's see if it can stay outside for a little bit and then start to hug it on the way up. But I would expect on the weekly Bollinger Bands that we fall back inside of the band and then continue to hug it on the way up. And here on the daily, we're also getting very close to the top of this red band as well. On the 4-hour RSI, it looks like we are trying to make our way back up to this yellow line. Let's see if we can break through it and then break into the overbought territory. That would show a lot of strength behind price on a midterm time frame. Also here we have the 1 hour where we got to bounce off the moving average. We're creating higher highs and higher lows. Let's see how high this thing can go. We are above the 50 line and we're trying to make our way up to the top of this range here. Let's see if on the 1 hour MACD we finally found our bottom. This thing was kind of trending downward and then it fell off of a cliff. We had a steady decline here. It wasn't too steep, very shallow, and then we had this final push down, as you can see. Let's see if this is the final move to the downside, and then if we can actually break that and push up higher. The blue line has broken above the orange, and we're starting to see a little bit of green, but we have seen that previously, and nothing came out of it. But at this point, it pushed all the way down, and we're pretty much at the neutral zone, just pushing above it. So let's see if this can start to create a move like this, how we've seen previously, where things start to really get very, very bullish. When we take a look at Bitcoin, we had a good close yesterday. We finished at 97,000, almost flat, and now we're currently above the level that we've been speaking of, which is the midline of this level. This is this range. This is a key level of support and resistance. We definitely want to see that close above here, retest, and push up higher. We got to get a close here on the daily, and ideally it would be even better if we could get a close on the weekly. If we can get a close above these wicks here on the weekly, that would be perfect, and I could see us making it to all-time highs relatively soon. But things have been playing out pretty well so far. So we had this minor level of support that we found support off of right here. We've had multiple bounces off of it. We fell underneath this trend line that we've had established, touched this horizontal level of support with the 20-day moving average underneath price, and then we've crossed right back above this trend line, closed, retested off of it, and we pushed higher. So this trend line was definitely a key level, a key player in this most recent move. It's nice to see. And on the SMA, we do have the 20 crossing the 200 here. Very bullish sign. On the 4-hour, we have the 20 crossing the 50 as we speak, currently just happening in this most recent move. So this is very bullish. This could allow price to push up much higher. Last time we got the cross here, you can see that was April 10th, and we've rallied ever since then. And then we came pretty close to crossing, but then it separated and we had that next rally. Let's see what turns out from here, but it's looking very bullish. And when we take a look at the Tether Dominance, When we take a look at the Tether Dominance, it is looking very good. This is a level that we spoke about. We were saying if we could fall underneath the 497 that we could get a pretty large move. And it looks like that's starting to play out pretty well. We said 497 in yesterday's video, and ideally underneath the 495. Now we do need to get a close, and then maybe we come back to retest it and push down even further. But this is looking very bullish, and we're trying to make our way down to this blue line. That would be the best scenario right there. That's what we want to see. And when we overlay Bitcoin, actually we're going to overlay MSTR. So as you can see, with MSTR, we find our peak as soon as we get to the line, or we get very close. This one was, honestly, it's really on this candle here, and we weren't even touching the line yet. We were very close, but we didn't touch it. That was here on November 18th. And Bitcoin was still pushing up higher after we already topped here at November 18th. So I do kind of expect something similar where we get close to the line and MicroStrategy front runs Bitcoin's move before we even touch the line, but we get very, very close. That's when we'll probably find our top for MSTR for this leg up, potentially. And the same thing happened here. As you can see, we topped March 11th on MSTR, and we didn't even touch the blue line. We came very close, but we didn't touch it. So I expect something similar to this. Once we get close, we probably see our blow off top potentially, and then a reset for the next leg up if it continues to be a right translated cycle. And on Bitcoin, we're going to be using the M2 global liquidity today. We normally like to use the other one. It seems like 81 or like 82 days is pretty good for the offset. It seems pretty spot on. So this is 82 right here. So we're somewhere in this region. It looks like we do have another leg up, maybe some sideways consolidation, pull back and push up higher. But it does look like it's kind of creating its own path where it's a little bit more steep than the global liquidity. So let's see how it plays out, but it's definitely looking very bullish. I think we have much higher to go, and I do think MSTR will front run Bitcoin's move ultimately. We're going to overlay MSTR just so we can see how much sooner it ends up topping. So you can see here, MSTR topped here in the pink November 18th, and Bitcoin didn't find its top till December 17th, so 27 days later. As we get closer to our goal, we'll probably start trimming bit by bit instead of selling the entire position right off the, right in one shot. Yeah, overall this is looking very good. And finally, when you take a look at the MSTR divided by the VIX, we got that strong bounce off of it, and it looks like we're potentially going to create all-time highs if we continue this move upward. But overall, everything's looking very bullish, keeping the trend intact, and MicroStrategy, I think, will create all-time highs relatively soon. We're already sitting at low 400s right now, so let's see where things take us. I'm excited to see. Appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.